Hey everyone, now I'm going to explain exercise 6 in HTML. So the first one is to do a digital clock. First, first here on body, while the body is not, it'll just start the time. And then I created a small tag for it, and then element I put a center, and then ID as text. And for this I did few CSS elements for the different tag, so that when the mouse moves on towards that, it will just change colors. And then that thing we call this function the body. When the body starts, that means whenever we run this HTML file, the body will start running, and then it will call this function. So in this function, it will just get the hours and minutes and seconds from the system. And then finally, if minutes are less than 10, it will print as 0 plus the minute number. That is, like, for example, if minutes are 8, it will print 08 like that, and so on. And then finally it will print in that h1 tag which I left empty, so it will look like this. So here we can see the time it's running. It's taking the time from the PC. So and when the mouse hovers over it, it will just change the color. And the second question is dynamic background. So whenever I click a button, it should change the color. So for this I just created a button. So I just created here a button, and then when I click the button, it will call this function called color. So here the color function is there, and then I just gave 3 values for this for red, blue and green. So it will just randomly call some value of red, blue and green because with this function. So the final color RGB have some red value, some green value, some blue value. So 3 will be mixed, and then some color may come, and then finally for the whole body background color, it will set it as color. So we will see how it runs. So if you press color, here we can see that the color changes. The third question is when mouse hovers over text, you should zoom in. So for that, here I just created on mouse over, it will call an increase size function, and if the mouse goes out of it, it will call that that is mouse on mouse out. That means when mouse goes out, and then this is the text in that. So it will call the increase size and decrease size functions. So here increase size, it will just increase the dot style, so this font size will increase. So from dot style we can directly change increase or decrease the font size. So if you run this, here we can see that when the cursor moves on this, it changes the size, and then again it will change that. And so the fourth question is when I click one button, the one car should start moving, and then when I click stop, it will stop. For here I just gave one input type equal to button or 2 buttons. So first button will call this function my one, second button will call this function my stop. And then that's it. And then I just gave one div equal to move this tag, so that in this tag that I can insert the image. Here I inserted in that move tag, I just inserted the image, and then it will just call these 2 functions. So if I press move button, it will call this function. What it will do means, if the position is not equal to 0, it will increase the position value, and then each value position will become a pixel, so that every time it will move 1 pixel, and then here I give interval as 10, so for every 10 milliseconds it will start moving. So when I call this stop function, it will just make the position as element as 0, so it will just stop. And then again when I press this start function, it will just, since here the position value equal to 1, so again it will start moving. So let's see it. Here I have the car. Here we can see that the car is moving, and when I press stop, it will stop. and then again when I press move it will start moving. And the final question is, I should create an array of objects so that it will display the following properties of student. So here finally after this I just created one button. So when I click this button it will just clear whatever the data is there, and then it will just call the student. So when I click this it will call this function, and then I get a few div tags so that I can store the information here. So here it will call this function. So function student will be called. So first function clear it will call. What it will do means it will just initialize the arrays, and then using prompt it will just take the input first name, last name and date of birth, and then everything will be stored in an array. After that it will just check if the that is, if the date of birth is greater than 1980 it will print in one group. If it's less than 1980 it will print in another group, and then finally it will print the date of birth. So let's see how it will work. So first if I give one prompt will come. So I will give us two student records. First name Koti, date of birth is 1920. So this is for the second student. I will give as last name as, and he was born on 2000. So here we can see that each group after 1980 zip was born, before 1980 this guy was born. So that's all for now. Thank you.